Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be making my honey sourdough loaf. So I got this recipe online. It's just called honey sourdough bread. The recipe was posted by a woman named Lisa Bass. I'll post it down in the description too, so that way if you guys want to see her instructions you can do that or just watch the video. Let's get started. I do have my recipe written out, that way if you guys keep seeing me look over there, that's why. But I'm gonna start out on my scale, putting it to grams, putting my bowl on, and then making sure to zero it out. And then to start off, we need 325 grams of water. Next, we need to put in our starter. Now, my starter I fed this morning. It has been sitting since about 7, I would say, and it's about to be 12. So yeah, we just need 100 grams in each bowl. And now they do say that if it floats, that means it's ready to use. And also, if you guys like this video, and you guys want to see other stuff made, or like have me try other stuff to make, and want to see how it is, or see a recipe and you're like, oh, I'd really love to see that, rather than just written down, but see a video of it, I'm always open to suggestions. Like I said, I love baking, so finding new recipes is always a plus for me. By the way, this is Doughlanda, for anybody who doesn't know yet. Yeah. But now we're gonna do the honey. So for each of these, I need 30 grams of honey. It's definitely a learning curve, in my opinion. Which, don't get me wrong, I like it now that it's not sour. So like I said, now that we have this together, I'm gonna mix these up to get the honey incorporated with the sourdough starter and the water, just getting them all mixed. And it's gonna be still like, it's still gonna be a little lumpy with the sourdough starter in here, which is totally fine. That's totally normal. This is what it'll look like when it's all mixed together. Like I said, there's still some clumps in there. It's totally fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. It'll mix together better when we do the flour. But also, this is what I meant by floating. Like, my sourdough starter's floating in here, and that's what you want. At least that's what everybody like that I watch says, because obviously I had to learn somewhere. It does take 3 kinds of flour. So it uses whole wheat, all-purpose flour, and bread flour. Now, I do have this written out. Like I said, I can write this out, but I'll also post the link to the recipe that I used, so that if you want to just copy it from mine, that's fine. If you want to go see her page and any of her tips or anything, you can do that also. But yeah, so this is my all-purpose flour. So I'm going to start with this. We have 250 grams that we need of all-purpose flour. And now I have my bread flour, and you're like, holy cow, why do you need such a big thing for bread flour? And because I use it so this is my bread flour. We need 125 grams in each bowl of bread flour. Some people specifically use certain brands of flour, and I do. So I'm one of those people, and I will only use King Arthur. Now that's just preference, and also it's what I can most easily find. My flour is always unbleached though. Now, hopefully in the future, I will be getting a grain mill, and then I can mill my own wheat berries, which would be awesome. And if you don't know anything behind that, definitely look into it, because it's amazing. And if you can afford it, do it. That's just my advice, at least. So this is my whole wheat flour. I need 100 grams in each of my bowls. And we need 10 grams of salt in each thing. So you get 10 grams. All right. This is what mine's gonna look like. And not this. Because some people just leave it like this, and I'm like, there's no way that that's okay. So we mix all the flour in. I do, at least. We're gonna get a wet towel after I wash my hand off. Wet towel, cover these for a half hour, and then we'll be back. So now it's been 30 minutes. I'm gonna do my first set of stretch and folds. So if you don't know what stretch and folds are, you basically, I wet my fingers, which just helps a lot more. You basically just pull the dough up from each side. And it's not perfect the first time you do it. The dough sticks, it's kind of annoying. But it'll get better the more times that you do it, for sure. Sourdough is really a trust the process kind of thing. So we do 6 sets of stretch and folds. The first 3 are every 15 minutes, and then the last 3 are every 30 minutes. So cover it back up with your wet towel, set a timer 15 minutes. Alright, now this is our second set of stretch and folds. Alright, and then cover them back up and set another 15-minute timer. So we did 3 sets of stretch and folds every 15 minutes, and then we did 3 sets of stretch and folds every 30 minutes also. So this is our last set of stretch and folds. After this, we're going to let these bulk ferment on the countertop until they're doubled in size. So we're gonna cover them up with a wet towel again and just let them sit. Now this can be different for everybody, just depends on how warm your house is, where you set it. I normally set it the warmest place in my house, so it'll probably go next to the heater over there on our table. And then we'll be back once they double in size. Right now, this one is this big, and this one is this big. So once they're doubled in size, then we will shape them and put them in the fridge overnight and bake them tomorrow morning. Okay, so now that we did our bulk rise, mine has doubled in size, and now we have to let them sit out on the counter for 15 to 20 minutes just to let them get a hard cover on them, so that when they're in the fridge, the towel doesn't stick to them. And while I do this, I like to clean out my bowls since I don't have bannetons, and then put a tea towel in here with some flour on it to put them in the fridge overnight. After you get them out of your bowls, make sure you shape them into balls and then let them sit so that the crust forms. Sorry, my husband's being a turd. So yeah, just take it out and then form it into a ball. Sorry, you're never gonna get quiet in the background.
No.
And then just pinch it shut. That's what I do, at least. And then you just let it sit. I put a little bit of flour down, that way it doesn't stick to the counter. But yeah, then we'll be back in 15-20 minutes. So now I have my floured bowls with tea towels or hand towels or whatever you have. They say you just fold it in on itself and then like this. And then I just, you know, roll it into a ball just like I did for the first part. And then when you place it in the bowl, it'll go seam side down. No, seam side up, sorry. And it'll go just like this. And then you just pinch off any openings and then cover it with plastic and stick it in the fridge for 12 to 15 hours max. Good morning. I just turned out my dough onto a piece of parchment paper. My oven has been preheating all morning at 500 degrees with my Dutch oven in. So now I'm gonna add just a little tiny bit more flour to the top of this. And then we're going to score our dough. No, I don't like a whole lot of flour, so I'll just spread this around a little bit. We just spread the flour around a little bit. Okay, so it's a lame or I don't know how to say it, but either way, this thing, or just a really sharp knife, whatever you have, don't drop it like I just did, because you can cut yourself. But it doesn't have to be all fancy. I like trying to be, but it doesn't turn out. It never does, but it's still fun to try. So I'm just gonna do like a little flour thing, because why not? It doesn't hurt to try, right? Now, like I said, I just used to, and then open the oven. I'm gonna pull the Dutch oven out and make sure when you take the lid off to turn your head, because it releases smoke and that's really dangerous. And then we will put our loaf in the Dutch oven. And what I do is I just find empty spaces for my ice cubes and throw them in. And then you want to get this covered as quick as possible. I'll quick show you guys before I close it, but just as quick as possible. And then we will set our timer for 20 minutes. And then I'll see you guys back and show you guys what I mean, put the temperature down and how it looks after 20 minutes. Okay, so my timer just went off. So now we're gonna pull this out. But first, actually, we're gonna lower our temperature. So we're gonna go to 425. Okay, so now that we're gonna take our lid off. And this is what it looks like now. We're gonna put it back in for 25 minutes at 425. And then it should be, I'm actually just gonna do 20 minutes, check on it, and then if we need the extra 5 minutes, then we'll put it in for another 5 minutes. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So yeah. Okay guys, so my loaf isn't like completely cool. It's still a little warm, but I just wanted to show you guys. I mean, it still has a really great crunch, but I wanted to show you guys me cutting into it. So yeah. I really want one of those fancy bread cutters, but not yet. And look how soft she is. Like, it's so good. I just made sandwiches for lunch with it. If you guys are wondering, this is my second loaf that I baked. It's still cooling, but that's how that one turned out. I mean, I scored it differently. I tried to do some leaves. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.